The Vanishing Tycoon, a Chennai crime. Chennai, a city of heritage and modern ambition, holds many secrets in its bustling streets. In 2019, the sudden disappearance of a wealthy industrialist sent shockwaves through the city. What started as a missing person case soon unraveled into a sinister web of deceit, revenge, and cold-blooded murder. Chapter 1. The disappearance. On a humid July evening, 50-year-old Ashok Nambiar, the owner of a thriving textile business, left his office in T. Nagar. He was scheduled to meet his family for dinner but never arrived. His phone was switched off, and his driver, who usually picked him up, was instructed to take the night off. His wife, Priya, initially thought he was caught up in a business emergency. But as hours turned into days, panic set in. Priya frantically called Ashok's colleagues and business partners, but no one had any idea of his whereabouts. She even reached out to a few close friends, hoping he might have confided in someone. By morning, fear had fully taken hold, and she filed a missing person report at the local police station. The authorities initially believed it was a case of voluntary disappearance, perhaps an affair or financial trouble. However, their assumptions changed when Ashok's car was found abandoned near Marina Beach with traces of blood on the dashboard. His wallet and phone were missing, but his watch and shoes were left untouched, an unusual detail that puzzled the investigators. Chapter 2. The clues begin to emerge. The first breakthrough came from CCTV footage. Ashok was last seen exiting his office at around 8:15 p.m., walking alone toward the parking lot. Moments later, he was seen entering a black SUV near his office. The vehicle had fake registration plates, making it difficult to trace. Further investigations revealed that Ashok had been receiving anonymous threats over the past few months. Some of his employees came forward to confirm that he had seemed unusually tense and was frequently checking his phone in recent weeks. His business competitors and staff members were questioned, but nothing concrete surfaced. A closer look at his call records pointed detectives to a surprising lead: repeated calls to an unknown number in the days before his disappearance. The number was traced to a prepaid SIM card registered under a false identity. However, forensic analysis of Ashok's abandoned car provided a key clue: hair strands that did not match any of his family members. Chapter 3. A hidden rivalry. As the investigation deepened, detectives discovered that Ashok had recently fired his longtime manager, Satish Rao, due to suspected embezzlement. Satish had been working with Ashok for over a decade, handling high-value business transactions. But just months before the disappearance, Ashok discovered a large sum of money missing from company accounts. Furious, he confronted Satish and immediately terminated him. However, Satish denied any wrongdoing and left without causing a scene. Or so it seemed. One of Ashok's colleagues later mentioned to the police that Satish had not taken the dismissal lightly. He was deeply resentful and had even been heard making veiled threats about getting back at his former employer. However, no direct link to the crime had been established until one informant came forward with chilling details. The informant, a tea shop owner near Marina Beach, reported seeing Satish in the area on the night of Ashok's disappearance. He also mentioned seeing a black SUV parked nearby for several hours. This revelation led police to track Satish down to a hideout in a Chennai suburb. When confronted, Satish denied involvement but kept contradicting himself during interrogation. His nervous demeanor and inconsistencies raised further suspicion. Under pressure, Satish finally broke down. He admitted to orchestrating Ashok's abduction, but insisted he had no intention of killing him. He had partnered with two hired criminals, Ravi and Dinesh, who were supposed to threaten Ashok into handing over money in exchange for his life. But things took a brutal turn when Ashok fought back. Chapter 4. The Dark Truth. Unfolds. Satish led investigators to a desolate warehouse near ECR East Coast Road, where they found shocking evidence: bloodstains, rope fibers, and pieces of torn fabric matching the clothes Ashok was last seen wearing. The warehouse had clearly been used as a holding site, with signs of a violent struggle evident across the floor. The two hired goons, Ravi and Dinesh, were soon apprehended. Under intense interrogation, they revealed how the crime had escalated far beyond what was planned. According to their confession, Ashok was taken to the warehouse and restrained. The plan was to force him to transfer a large sum of money before releasing him. However, Ashok refused to cooperate and, at one point, attempted to escape. In the struggle, he managed to knock over a metal shelf, creating a loud crash that startled his captors. In a panic, Ravi struck him on the head with a blunt object, causing him to collapse. Realizing the gravity of their actions, they panicked. Fearing that Ashok would survive and report them, they suffocated him to ensure he wouldn't be able to identify them. They then transported his body to a dried-out well outside the city limits and threw it in, covering it with debris to prevent discovery. With this information, police conducted a large-scale search operation, and Ashok's remains were found deep within the well, confirming the tragic end to his disappearance. Chapter 5. Justice is served with undeniable evidence against them. Satish, Ravi, and Dinesh were charged with kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The courtroom trial was dramatic, with Ashok's family demanding the harshest punishment. The case garnered significant media attention, highlighting the dangers of betrayal and greed. During the trial, Satish attempted to shift the blame onto Ravi and Dinesh, claiming he never intended for Ashok to be harmed. But forensic data, witness testimonies, and his own confession sealed his fate. In the end, Satish and his accomplices were sentenced to life imprisonment. As Chennai came to terms with the gruesome crime, the case left behind a chilling lesson. Trust can be a double-edged sword. A man who built an empire with loyalty and diligence had met his fate at the hands of those he once trusted. Epilogue. The Vanishing Tycoon case remains one of Chennai's most haunting crime stories. It serves as a reminder that in the world of crime, even the most carefully laid plans will eventually unravel, and justice, no matter how delayed, will always find its way. Even in a city that never stops moving, some shadows refuse to be ignored. What do you think about this case? Do you believe justice was served, or do you think the punishment should have been harsher? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more chilling crime mysteries.